volunteer for a group called Eastern Service Workers Association, or ESWA, which is located in Dorchester on the cordon of Bowdoin and Hamilton. The address is 247 Bowdoin Street. ESWA is an all-volunteer-run, non-government-funded membership association founded in 1977 by low-income service workers. So everybody who's part of the organization is completely a volunteer, and we don't accept any government funds. We built a new way to organize based on the common problems that all working people, as well as many other groups in our community, are facing. There are fewer jobs, there are lower paying jobs, and all the while there are rising costs of living that create more poverty than ever. And we need to unite around the common problem. Many of our members who work in the hotels and clean office space have still not been called back to work full-time. They work in nursing homes owned by private equity firms who make their profits by understaffing and underpaying workers, which has led to deadly consequences during the pandemic. 94% of all jobs created in the US over the last decade were temporary, so many people are still not finding work. The impact of this is that 42% of children in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan now live in poverty. The cost of electricity in New England has tripled in the past year. Natural gas has more than doubled, and inflation is near its highest rate in over a decade. So ultimately, all of us are feeling the effects of the rising cost of living. Alone and isolated, the best any of us can do is to hope that maybe we can get by as an individual, and some of us do make it, but of course we can't all make it. That's why ESWA is building organizations, so we can unite the entire group that's affected around our common interest to fight for change, not just for some of us, but for all of us. All this being said, there are some who are doing very well and profiting. The firm Eversource Electric, their profits rose 37% from 1 year ago. The richest 1% in the world increased their wealth by more than 1.2 trillion with a T dollars during the pandemic. And pharmaceutical companies are reporting huge profits made from our tax dollars. So, all this being said, government programs that are supposed to help to be part of the solution have fallen far, far short of what people actually need. So what we do is we unite working people through door-to-door canvasses in low-income areas of Boston every week to sign up new members. So every Saturday, a group of volunteers will go from door to door knocking on people's doors, seeing if people need help and potentially signing up new members. Members meet weekly and decide what actions to take, like attending this upcoming state hearing to demand that the state not allow another electric rate hike. As I mentioned before, Eversource Electric, their profits rose 37% this past year, so they're doing very well, but they're asking for another rate hike. And many of us in our community simply cannot afford that and will be severely impacted by that. So volunteers are needed now to join Canvas teams, to learn how to be an advocate to prevent utility shutoff, evictions, wage theft, and so on. Our strategy to end poverty and the policies that perpetuate it starts with the needs, where the needs are greatest, consistent with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Every single country in the United Nations, including the US, agreed in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development a list of 17 universal goals that include that poverty and hunger end, that everyone is able to ensure healthy lives, that everybody is able to access affordable, reliable, and sustainable and modern energy for all. So there is on the 31st, that's right, thank you, there will be a public hearing with the Department of Public Utilities. We're asking people just to leave their name and phone number who would be willing to learn more about either becoming a member or potentially testifying at this hearing to be part of that. Thank you very much. That concludes my presentation, and I hope that people will be interested in leaving their information. Have a good rest of your afternoon.
Assalamu alaikum. Based upon that, we all know Ramadan is coming. and the masjid will be open 24/7 almost. And that's going to increase our utility bills, water bill, gas bill. And at the same time, the air conditioner will be working as well. So in that respect, please, when you are donating or you are giving towards the masjid, if you are giving $10, please, I am begging you to increase it a little bit because you're not going to take it with you. Increase it at least by $15, $20, $25, any amount that you can afford. If we don't take care of this masjid, the masjid cannot take care of itself. We are the one that occupying it 24/7. So please, let's increase our donation towards the masjid. Increase your donation a little bit. You cannot take this money with you. You have to leave it behind you, but leave it in the better hand, at the better, let me say, something that you'll be proud and get blessing for. May Allah accept our prayer. Assalamu alaikum.